welcome everybody to Out of Rhythm Fantasy Sports. I'm Jamie. That's Eli. We're hitting up some college prospects for the 2024 NFL draft. So, welcome in. If you've been with us for a while, we just recapped like all the, you know, NFL weekend. We did some highlighted players, and now we're actually hitting up Blake Corum from Michigan State, running back. So we'll discuss him a little bit, and then we'll be on our way. But hopefully everybody stayed tuned, and if everybody doesn't catch this, Blake Corum will be he will be in our playlist on YouTube as well. So Eli, take her away.
Yeah. Oh, it's time, baby. Yeah, time to drop the elbow off the top rope because that's what my man Blake Corum has been doing to him and his whole Michigan team. 8-0, number 2 team in the country. I think they're the best. I think they're better in Georgia. I think they're better in Florida State. Yeah, I think they're better than all of them. But put a gun to my head. This is just my own personal opinion. I'm not going off of what ESPN says or PFF or other places. This is just my own personal opinion based on his size, his 40 time, kind of his skill set. Can catch passes, doesn't catch a lot of them. Really, really trunky, really lower body strength, speed is pretty, decent for an NFL running back. I'd say DeAndre Swift, just based on the highlights, just based on the body of works. DeAndre had similar stats at Georgia to what Blake Corum has at Michigan so far. So that would be my comp. And that's not bad. DeAndre Swift is having a renaissance career year with the Eagles. I mean, he's really almost bettering everything he ever did with Detroit. So it's not a bad place to be. DeAndre's playing like a top 10 fantasy back right now. So that's not a bad spot. PFF has him ranked as the 56th best prospect, number 2 running back. So that just tells you it's a weak running back class. There's really nobody in the top 40 for sure. You can argue that, maybe he could be, maybe 45th prospect, 50th prospect, but they have him at 56. Right now he's projected to be a late second round pick, which would probably put him in the Baltimore mix. I think he'd look, you know what? They had a guy years ago, me and Jamie remember, Ray Rice, as long as he doesn't punch his girlfriend in the elevator. They had a guy years ago. He's got a similar build to Ray Rice. Runs the same way. So Ray, they remember Ray Rice. Yeah, right. I think he'd fit in great and actually give them a durable back that doesn't get hurt. Like J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards and Justice Hill and Keaton Mitchell, and the list goes on and on and on of injured, unreliable running backs. Hell, if Lamar had a reliable running back, he might have a Super Bowl already. Who knows? But I think that'd be a good fit for him. 2022 stats from last year. This guy was an absolute animal. Had over almost 1,500 yards rushing. Had 18 touchdowns. The receiving side, he's got good hands. They just don't throw the ball to him a bunch. I mean, he's one of those guys that you'll see more of it when he gets in the NFL. You see 11 catches, 80 yards as a tutty. You're like, oh, those are pedestrian numbers. But yeah, they just don't use him in that capacity. I mean, he was their bull workhorse last year. So far this year, his average carry is up, so he's more efficient. As you can see, 111 attempts for, a little over 600 yards. But the touchdowns, I mean, it's ridiculous. This guy's on pace for 20 touchdowns. I mean, he is just, yeah. That's in the Big Ten. I mean, This isn't some small conference guy, playing at wherever the hell, Wyoming, putting up 20 touchdowns. I mean, this is legit 20 touchdowns against, real defenses that are going to have NFL prospects. I mean, so this is very impressive. We'll see what he can do against Penn State, Ohio State, because Michigan have them coming up 2 of the last 4 games of the regular season. So, but yeah, that's impressive. 13 touchdowns in 8 games. It's, damn impressive. He was an All-American last year. Might be again this year, more than likely. You definitely get to 1,000 yards rushing. Probably not going to have the same rushing yards as last year because he's just not going to have the attempts. But like I said, the TDs are going to be up there. Probably another All-American season. He was a 4-star recruit coming out of Baltimore. So, going to Baltimore makes sense. It really does. I mean, it'd be almost a hometown kid. I think that makes a ton of sense. They don't have to trade up for him. I think he's going to fall right into their lap late second round. Let J.K. Dobbins walk. Gus Edwards, if he stays on the team, Gus can go back to being a backup, like good backup like he was. They don't need Justice Hill, these kind of clowns. So, any thoughts on Blake?
Yeah,
I'll pass it over.
Pass it over to me, huh? Yeah.
Pass in the
Blake
book.
Corum. Yes, pass that doobie on over here. Right now, Blake Corum. I mean, the Michigan rush game. They're averaging about 174 yards per game, which is about 41st in the country. I mean, not bad. I mean, it could be better. I mean, especially with Corum smacking around 13 touchdowns. And it could be better. Right now, their average Michigan's average per game is about 4.3 yards per game. That's about 28th best in the country right now. I mean, you would think that'd be a little bit more, but there's other teams out there. I just their run game's just elite and just running out there. Overall, Blake Corum's got 605. Welcome to South Dakota. Right now he's 31st overall with with yards, total yards right now. He's ranked 31st in the country. He's actually ranked 32nd with 5.45 rushing yards per attempt. So I mean this is his, overall rushing, per attempt. And he's got 13 touchdowns, which is first overall for, actually and it see, you got me all stumbled. 13 touchdowns overall. So that's first overall for running backs in general. Yeah, he's
Who sang that? Joe. It was Joe back in like 2000. I remember that song. Stuttering.
But overall, right now, so total carries right now for the season, he actually has 111 yards carried, 111 carries already for the season. Carries per game is about he's been averaging about 13 yards, or not 13 yards, 13 carries per game. So the only 100-yard game he's actually had so far was actually in week 3 against Bowling Green. Other than that, he hasn't really had any like standout great like 100-yard games. He's been only averaging maybe 60, 70 yards per game. I mean, as elite as this guy is, you would think he would have a little bit more of some more 100-yard games in there. A couple more, 2-yard, couple two TD touchdowns in there. But you haven't seen that yet. Right now on NFL Draft Buzz, they actually got him ranked first. First overall, he's ranked first overall right there. Behind Trey Benson from Florida State, Donovan Edwards from Michigan, and then we have Braylon Allen, who we talked about as well, from Wisconsin, and Trayvon Henderson from Ohio State. So he's leading the rank right now. So and I think they kind of change it up weekly, and this was just at I think they kind of change it up based on what they're doing here, what they think. But overall, probably second or late draft pick. He's actually 51st overall rank wise, but right now they have him in RB rank is first, so they have him first overall. My NFL comp is actually Aaron Jones. That's who I kind of comp him to.
I think, see, I think Aaron Jones is a little bit better out of the backfield catching passes, but like in between the tackles, I could see Aaron Jones too.
Yeah, the only downfall with him is he was injured. He had a kind of a knee injury in 2022. So I mean, durability issues, that could be, it could be a factor if teams could think that he could be a cowbell running back, that can carry the load, take the load. And the other thing too is he's not really like a dual threat running back. He hasn't really like furnished that or stabilized him like out of the backfield. with he might have a few catches, but if he wants to be a dual threat running back, he'll have to put some more work into that part of his game to actually, I mean, to actually be like, to have that durability, people, teams wanting him, you know what I mean?
I think he can. I think he's been underutilized because like you said, he's got more of a Ray Rice, Maurice Jones-Drew, DeAndre Swift. These kind of short, compact. In Maurice Jones-Drew, he came in the league similar, out of UCLA. Didn't catch, but he worked his way into being a receiving back, and he became one of the best backs in the league. If people remember, like 15 years ago in the NFL, like Maurice Jones-Drew was a guy that came to my mind, but he's got Edwards too. He's got, it's almost like almost like what Texas had going on, but like a better version of it. Remember, Texas had Roshan Johnson and Bijan last year. Kind of had two NFL, first, second day level guys in their backfield, and they have a similar situation here where these two are the first and second rated running backs coming out. So that could be it too, and it's saving his body. I mean, really, if you think about it, and going to a place like Baltimore, like he's kind of projected from a few mock drafts, like I think that would save his body too. If they like that, he wouldn't have to be. You go to the Giants, you're going to be a feature every down. I mean, you're going to take a beating. You're going to be a feature every down back. They're going to expect you to replace Saquon. There's certain places, Tennessee, it's a Derrick Henry, you kind of, like places like that. Baltimore, it's kind of more like the Miami, San Francisco, what San Francisco used to be, where it's like running back by committee, go with the hot hand. And so I think Corum could last a while in that kind of a system.
Yeah, it's very possible. I mean, Ravens probably wouldn't hurt.
Same from the injuries.
Yeah. Those are some of the things I've seen. On the upside, I mean, he has great vision to actually get through a lot of these tight places, these little tight openings in the offensive line. So I mean, he's good with that, and then he's got the agility actually to shake tacklers and whatnot to actually get to the second level. So I mean, when he does get to the open field, I mean, he's a chunk rudder. I mean, he can get those yak yards after seeing those open holes through those O lines. So I mean, he's got the ability to actually just burst through lines. I mean, he's almost kind of like it's kind of similar to Zeke, but in a smaller version of him, maybe possibly, the way you can see through the line and just kind of get through him through the open field, because he's, being 5'8", he's a pretty hard tackler. Be pretty hard tackler. And I'm not sure what Zeke was. Maybe Zeke was what, 5'11"?
Zeke's like 6 foot, like 5'11", 6 foot. I think if Blake Corum was Zeke's size, he'd be a top 10 pick. Yeah. I think what's holding, because he's got like high end skill set. It's just he's a smaller, and people worry about the durability too, which is definitely a question mark. And then if you're Baltimore, because I keep saying Baltimore because I've seen a lot of these kind of backs that they take, it's the last thing you probably want is an injury prone back. I mean, you've seen that song and dance for almost 10 years now. So I think I think where he can make his bones is, like I said, are these two big games, Penn State, Ohio State at the end of the year, and then the playoff. Playing against a Georgia, playing against an Oregon, playing some team like that, and just, hey, how are you going to do against the big boys? You can tear up Bowling Green, but we want to make sure that you can put up 120 and a touchdown or two against the big boys.
Yeah,
just to kind of reaffirm where maybe raise his draft stock between that, the Senior Bowl, combine. Yeah. Maybe he can work his way up.
Yeah,
maybe the Raiders. Maybe goes early second. Maybe he works his way up and somehow he's an early second. He goes to the Raiders. I think that'd be if they let go of Josh Jacobs, don't want to pay. Want to move off him, and I could see Corum going there. That's another place too. The Raiders.
Yeah, I was trying to think of some other needy running backs. I mean, there's some out there, but it's hard saying right now. I mean, these are all all speculations, mock drafts and stuff like that, because you can't predict.
It's all subjective.
Yeah, it is, and that one could spend quite a bit of time of just talking about, well, he could go here or he could go here. I mean, you don't know where the end of, where a lot of these teams are going to finish from the NFL, just NFL wise, which team's going to have the the worst records, what teams are really needy for running backs. Hell, you never know. I mean, Blake Corum can end up on the Bills and just be, just not be recognized at all.
Miss away a couple of years of his career like Zach Moss did. Yeah. But we both agree that he's got great instincts, though. You could argue durability and some of the other factors. Jay worries about him out of the receiving game because that's pretty much what you need to do in this modern NFL. You need to be like a Travis Etienne. You need to be a dual threat. You need to be an Austin Eckler. You need to be a guy like dual threat. So there's questions there for sure, but the instincts are there. Like he's got great instincts. There's some backs that I don't think Najee Harris has great instincts. Like he's an NFL guy I don't think is very good anymore. Or if he ever was, I don't think he's got great instincts. But yeah, Blake Corum, I think, has great instincts.
Yeah, I think that's about right. Other than that, we'll just kind of we'll kind of wrap this up here, and then we'll be right back after these. We'll be right back after these messages, sponsored by us again.